Good morning again, everyone. Welcome to Maritime Studies again, and happy International Women's Day to all our female students, members of the university, and the general public. One person I would like to acknowledge who has apologized for her absence, but I must salute our General Manager of the Shipping Association, Ms. John Edwards, who is also our national liaison to the Women in Maritime Association Caribbean. And when I go through our planned speech, you will see the pivotal role that WMAC played in facilitating this activity. So distinguished guests, colleagues, friends, a good morning again. The Maritime Studies of UTT is honored to host the Maritime Technology Cooperation Center of the Caribbean. So what is this MTCCCA you've been hearing about? The MTCCA is one of 5 centers of excellence being established for the purposes of reducing greenhouse gas emissions from ships as part of the global effort in mitigating the impacts of climate change. The methodology is simple. Promote the uptake of energy-efficient technologies on board vessels, trading in the Caribbean area, and build capacity across 16 identified Caribbean territories for GHG monitoring and compliance with Annex 6 of MARPOL. Yes, simple I say. Our technical team lead, Captain Sukhjit Singh, will in the technical session outline our pilot projects, our capacity building initiatives, and the essential partnerships that will be leveraged to fulfill the objectives of the MTCCA. The small island developing states of the Caribbean region are particularly vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, and therefore the need for meaningful intervention cannot be emphasized enough. The continued demonstration of commitment of the European Union to assisting the developing world and the Caribbean is deeply appreciated. With the European Union as the funding institution and the International Maritime Organization as the implementing organization, the MTCCs are destined to be successful, sustainable centers of excellence. The support from both organizations resonate in the day-to-day operations of the MTCC. Dr. McAuliffe, your team at the Project Coordination Unit has been an amazing support in the establishment of the MTCCCA as we navigate the requirements of our contractual obligations and pushed our way past the teething problems associated with the creation of new establishments. Therefore, this acknowledgement will not be complete, or as we say in Trinidad, if I didn't give a big up to Ms. Tamar Barabatse, Ms. Sybil Kuka, and Mr. Anton Rhodes of the PCU. Thank you so very much for all the support you have offered, and I take comfort in knowing that we have the support of such an understanding team in London as we undertake our aggressive work plan over the next 3 years. As we celebrate and acknowledge this milestone in the creation of the center, I must share with you a brief history and inspiring story leading to the creation of the MTCC Caribbean. It was a journey that we undertook with ambition, but ever mindful that in daring to submit our expression of interest, that our purpose, even if we didn't win, was to let IMO know that we exist and we at Maritime Studies UTT are a force to be reckoned with. For me, this story began in April 2016, following an email from the Secretariat from the Women in Maritime Caribbean, another worthy initiative, I must say, of the IMO. This email was inviting expressions of interest to host the center. Having opened the link and scanned the keywords, energy efficiency, greenhouse gas emissions, climate change, I forwarded it to 2 colleagues that I knew had research interests in these areas. Well, one didn't pay me too much attention, but the other said, "I've been telling you about this since November." So I apologize for not paying attention to every WhatsApp message that was posted to our campus group, and then we got to work. We met with members of our International Funding and Grants Office and developed our strategy for developing the expression of interest. Florence, your belief in us went a long way in building our confidence. The support offered by yourself and Patty afforded us the opportunity to focus on the technical aspects of the bid. We plodded through the templates, reached out to industry partners, and the paperwork started to take form. Amidst this preparation, we received an email from an internationally renowned, and as we say in Trinidad, a really big Sawati, offering to partner with us and even do the bid for us. Well, I agreed with them with one thing. UTT stood a very good chance of being awarded this bid. But I didn't think we needed them to do the bid for us, or be anything more than one of our partners for implementation. Being a great believer in local capacity, and here was a project asking Caribbean institutions to step up to host the center, I was not going to let this pass us by. I also believed in the methodology of the IMO. This project was asking for institutions to be active learners in capacity building. Such an approach requires greater investment and coaching, but the rewards are far greater than a passive approach to technology transfer. How easy it could have been for this funding to be allocated to universities in the developed world and have them facilitate the capacity building initiative. In my opinion, the MTCC approach represented an innovative method to institutional capacity building for our region. So, we completed our expression of interest and submitted it in the wee hours of a Sunday morning. And then we waited. The day for the shortlisting of bidders had come, and by 9 a.m., no word from the IMO. We were biting our fingernails, and there was a communication from IMO. UTT was asked to submit a full bid document, being one of the 9 shortlisted countries. We celebrated in making it to this phase, but then everyone actively involved in bid preparation was suddenly off on vacation. But again, the team members sacrificed their vacation, some I have to say more than others, and we managed to pull the bid together. Given the nature of our data gathering projects, we turned to our long-standing partner, the Trinidad and Tobago Marine Pilots Association, for assistance. In his usual generous manner, Pilot Master Kurt Duncan offered us the use of his IT server and app to enable data gathering from the vessels. More on this will be heard on the technical sessions. But there was an area where, as a very young university in the Caribbean, we acknowledged we were limited. Our regional participation was limited as we are about 10 years old, one compared to the firmly established 30-plus-year-old Caribbean Maritime Institute. They were the other shortlisted from the Caribbean. Even their name appeared to give them the edge. So we looked to our Maritime Advisory Council, and one truly regional personality came to our rescue. Mr. Courtney Lange, we cannot thank you enough for opening your contacts, coming to my office, and personally calling every maritime administration in the Caribbean to introduce us and gather support for UTT in this bid. These introductions ensure warm and heartfelt support that became tangible when I met many of these senior maritime personnel for the first time at the first WMAC conference held in Cayman last year. It was while I was at this conference that we were informed that the IMO will be paying the UTT a due diligence visit on the day of our annual World Maritime Day Stakeholders Forum. So parallel sessions took on a new meaning for us then. We welcomed the due diligence team of Dr. Joe Mathiakel, Dr. Marapi Panelli, and Ms. Sybil Kuka to our campus on September 21st, 2016. I think it's now safe to say that we impressed them. I want to thank this team for believing in us, and I assure you, UTT, as host institution for the MTCC will exceed your expectations as a center of excellence. The primary aims of the MTCCA are to provide a platform for partnerships in enhancing energy-efficient methods in the maritime domain at a global level and specifically in the Caribbean region, to identify environmentally friendly and sustainable technologies available to the Caribbean region, to enhance awareness and uptake of environmentally sound technology technologies and build expertise within the region, provide advisory and market development services for technology adopters and suppliers, and monitor regional energy efficiency needs and align training programs to meet these needs. In fulfilling this mandate, we are mindful of the everyday challenges, the legal and institutional challenges faced by many of the maritime administrations in the region. Notwithstanding the continued efforts of the IMO and its regional maritime advisor, effective implementation of several maritime conventions and marine environmental conventions remain an elusive goal. We hope that by using the innovative technologies and embracing private sector involvement, we can leverage partnerships that will drive an agenda that is beyond the specific aims of the MTCC. As small island developing states, our challenges are similar, but each with their own institutional idiosyncrasies. The success is sometimes in understanding these peculiarities and developing strategies that are unique to our countries and our region. Growth is best facilitated following institutional study and self-reflection. Thank you to the IMO and the EU for giving us this opportunity to undertake this self-study and assisting us in dealing with the growing challenges of climate change mitigation. We at UTT and the MTCCA, along with our partners, will facilitate an enduring commitment to environmentally responsible development and entrench the ideologies of sustainable development goals in all that we undertake. I thank you.